right. Hello, everybody. I wanted to take a minute here and break down a little bit of my mindset for what I've got in mind for this channel, um, and for what I want to do in general. So, we've got a couple of different schools of thought here, right? The what are all the other YouTubers in the world doing and what's everybody doing, and follow this code, and you can kind of crack the YouTube code, if you will. And then there's the idea that I just kind of want to have this platform to get my thoughts out there. There's a lot of cool things that I think, and it doesn't necessarily fit into the cookie cutter norm of what most people think you should do, whether it be a tried and proven solution, dumb as it may sound, or just something that we're going to spitball and try. Um, Also, with that being said, I see a ton of people on the phones and all this stuff, including our young ones. And when I look at what they're watching, I don't always agree with the cool stuff that they think is cool or what they want to do. And there's just lack of content that I would want to see my kid enjoying. For example, like maybe using YouTube to read books or to follow along in a book or just to have that type of interaction. That'd be cool. And I don't see enough of that, at least not in my realm. So I'm trying to help flood the market with some good quality stuff there, as well as just being a good dad. That's a big priority for me. I really focus on how is it that I'm going to raise the best person that I can for the next 50, 60 years, however long the Lord decides to let me stay here. How can I help ensure with my wife that my son has been given every opportunity to not only succeed financially, but more importantly, spiritually and mentally. Um, that's a real big thought process, thinking point, if you will, that I go through every day. Another thing is, how do I get the fullest amount of joy out of life without feeling mundane or beaten down by what we have to do, go to work, i.e., pay bills. I found throughout my crazy extensive life that the less amount of monetary things I have, but the ones we have around us, it seems to be the most joy that I've had in my life. Born and raised in Southern California, moved to Klamath Falls, Oregon for a little bit, made our way to Indiana in '97, and I always told myself that as soon as I could, I was going to get out of Indiana and see some stuff. You know, I'm a traveler by heart. I don't want to be tied down to one set location, but at the same time, I need to have my family and friends around me. That sense of community to me is something that is not just important. It's really, really vital to reaching our potential as a person. What can we absolutely do the very best of here while we're here? We have to do that as a team, or at least it feels better as a team. I grew up playing sports. I know what it's like to have personal goals where it's just you, and then I know what it feels like to win as a team. And as arrogant or ego filled as some people may say I am, or call me on my flaws, if you will, the ones I remember the most are the team victories. It's just another powerful way of looking at things, I guess. Well, with that being said, I've never had a better team to be a part of than family, family, and that doesn't just mean who you know is blood, but who is truly family, who loves you like family, who treats you like family, who is there no matter what. That's where shit changes for me, or things change for me rather. Uh, I have a ton of people that when I see them, I'm happy to see them. A ton of people. I try to be the very best that I can in that regard. Like I said, I've had a pretty extensive life, and I've been blessed with the opportunity to see and learn from some pretty crazy situations. A lot of my good friends will often tell me, dude, I don't know how you do it. And the reality of it is you just don't know other way sometimes. There's no other way to deal with life other than make the absolute best of it. My pops passed away in February 2012. One of the last things was life, and he broke it down pretty simple, and it kind of shook me up after he passed away when you think about it. But he said, life's not that difficult. If you wake up, do what you're supposed to do when you're supposed to do it, go to sleep, and do it again. And it's simplified to the highest of levels right there. But I take that and I break it down to what I think he means, and on all levels, no matter what it is. If you're walking into a store, as simple as and as cliche as it may sound, you're walking into a store and somebody, whether it be guy, girl, black, white, purple, pink, a dog is right behind you, knowing in your mind that they're trying to get into that same building. Hold the damn door open, man. The idea that we can't be kind to each other and it's a dog eat dog world. For me, that just doesn't work. It just doesn't work. I've tried. I succeeded when I wanted to put my foot down and try to make a place in society and get a good job and do all that. I put my foot down. I did it. I did well at that position. And then I just still felt empty. I felt like there was something more that I should be doing with my time. And then I start talking to people. I try to post something positive. Last year, 2019, I was pretty diligent about it. 2018, pretty diligent about it. Uh, Posting something positive every single day, not just for myself, but for whoever may need it. Just because I'm a big believer in every single day is an opportunity to get better. Every single day is an opportunity to be thankful. Every single thing we do is an opportunity to improve something, if not everything. And sure, we could have that discussion or debate if you'd like to, but the reality of it is, it's just how you view the world and what you particularly find important, what you find a necessity, what you yourself feels not just obligated, but rather uh, inside fire burning to step forth and try to achieve. And to me, um, not saying like I'm a social justice warrior or anything like that, but to me, I just find it appalling when we as people feed off of so much negativity. And this is coming from a professional wrestling fan and a mixed martial art fan. It's not like I don't like violence or, I'm one of those hippie, Dudley do right people. No, there's a time and a place for everything. I firmly believe that. The reality of it is, I just don't think we're doing anybody any justice, ourselves included, if we're not trying to be the absolute best we could be. And it's hard to be the best you could be and be a dickhead at the same time. So, with that being said, my name's Carlos. I got a 3-year-old little boy. He's about to turn 4. Got a wonderful wife. Recently picked up golf last year. I will have a channel about golf. But this channel's kind of just going to be about me and whatever me and my wild family are doing. Putting a lot of eggs in these baskets, not necessarily for a monetary return, but more for a satisfactory return. I'm a very social person. I really enjoy the idea of helping people and working together, community, like I said. So the social media, the platforms that it provides, the opportunities it provides, I really get excited when I think about what all that can affect and how we can leave this place better than we found it or than when we got here. And that's not, me saying, oh, I want to jump out and start cleaning the oceans and stuff. I think that's great. I really do. But I think we need to start at the root cause of some of these issues, look at some of that stuff and see how we can affect our immediate world around us. And that to me is what I want to do. I want to affect the immediate world around me and hope that it's a big enough effect that it will continue to affect the worlds around them. You know, I started Place Perfect with a good buddy of mine, Kevin, last year in 2019 because, as I said, I took a different job and worked in the societal realm and tried to make some more currency because that seemed to be what societal norms would push us towards, right? If you want to have nice things, you gotta have a good job type mindset. So we did that. I succeeded. I was working for a trucking company out of Indianapolis. That was going well. You know, we had our snags, but overall we were winning. Things were going well to the point where we started Place Perfect, and then COVID and all this hit. And there's a lot of negativity that we could sit here and dwell on with this COVID stuff and all that, but at the same time, it's about perspective, man. It's about how you look at things. If you don't like what you see when you look out the window, look out a different freaking window, man. If you don't have another window, get to work. Um, that's who I am as a person. I don't like my life to suck. If something just doesn't feel right, man, I shake it up and make a change because we only get one shot at this crazy thing called life. That's who I am. So back to the point, I really think that with Place Perfect, my heart was in the right place. With if people didn't have to go do a job that they hate, then they would just ultimately be happier. And I really think I hit a strong chord for for what my purpose is as a person. You know, try to just help people become the happiest they could be. And like I said, been through crazy world, you know, crazy life I've lived over here. And one of the core ingredients to being happy is feeling loved, at least to me. You know, I have no credentials. Let me go on record here and say I have no credentials education wise. I have no credentials as far as trainings or things like that, just life experience, total life experience. Now I've spoke to quite a few people with the credentials I just spoke of, all of which said you got a crazy insight onto the world and people and how they affect you. And the reality behind that is just because of the life that I've lived, the viewpoint that these two eyes have had, the empathy that my heart has felt when it's felt it, the anger that I felt when I felt it, all those things have played a crazy role in making my brain think the way it does. And I really think that if we start tapping into our inner self, we can really make a better world for those around us. If you're a parent in any way, shape, or form, even if it's to an animal, I don't see how you wake up and one of your first thoughts in the how can I make this world better for my child? I don't know. I'm not calling you a bad person if you don't. I just don't. I've tried to rationalize like, okay, if I was in this position, if I was in this position, or if I was in this position, what would I do? How would I think? What could I do to better myself? Just so in case I'm ever there. And the reality of it is all the times I've thought like that, it's never not amounting to basically the same three things popping up every single three. All times I've thought about it, and that's how can I make this world better for my children? How can I make this world better for my loved ones? And how can I make this world better for my neighbor so that selfishly I can live in a better world? Thus, meaning if everybody around me has a better world, then my world's going to be better too. It's a long way to take care of me, sure, but like I said before, man, I grew up wrestling. You know, we had a damn good wrestling team growing up, and that's an individual sport while you're competing. But the individual accomplishments for me didn't mean shit. It was the team accomplishments. Maybe because the team did so much better than I individually. Maybe that had something to do with it. I don't know. But collectively, it was just the accomplishments amongst the group. I also think that has to do with my upbringing. You know, I came up with two little brothers and a kid sister. Sister being 13 years younger than me, kid brothers being 5 and 3 years younger than me. Um, So I often did things and I had help doing them, or I was the leader behind the plan and it was a group fail or it was a group accomplishment success. And I don't know, to me, I just feel like we can get so much more gratitude and joy if we tried harder as a species to take care of each other as opposed to shit on each other. Now, with that being said, I'm nowhere near educated in the field enough to give any political views on foreign aid, so on and so forth. The only thing I'll say in that regard is I find it crazy to pretend like we should be sending money overseas anywhere while they still can't drink water in Flint, Michigan. While they still can't drink water in Michigan, Flint, Michigan. Um, to my previous thought, at the same exact time, though, I don't know why there's somebody in Flint, Michigan. Because I have a son, I have a wife, and I don't give a damn if Lafayette's water was non-drinkable for an extended period of time. You know, I'm talking a week at the most. I'd be out looking and better. Not saying anything bad nor negative about those who aren't. Just saying that's how my mind thinks. I also want to touch on. I'm gonna go a couple different directions here. Why not? Though we're getting to know me, right? I also want to touch on. There's going to be some times in these videos where I do some rifting like this, and I talk to people or talk at a subject, and I cover some ground and I bounce back and forth, or I just flat out say something that comes out wrong and it's going to offend somebody, or it comes out exactly as I meant it and it's going to offend somebody. I just want to go on record right now and say there's going to be some things that somebody that watches this agrees with and don't agree with. There's going to be some things that that very same person says and does that I the same will agree with and not agree with. That doesn't make either one of us a bad person, nor does it make it okay for us to shit on them. Now, there is some caveats to my golden rule there, but the golden rule in life is treat everybody as you want to be treated. And call me cynical, call me what you will. I actually try my very best to live by that, as simple as it may sound. That was one of the first things I could ever remember in life. And you're talking to somebody who's got a pretty decent memory on them. I can remember some stuff pretty far back there, for better or for worse. And one of the first things I remember being talked to about diligently was you got to treat people as you want to be treated because karma's very, very, very just. It's a very real anomaly in this wonderful world. And if you set in motion a trend of being an asshole and just treating people in an unfair position, you're going to be in that shoe and it's not going to feel good. And as somebody who has not only lived it, breathed it, and done it in both for better and for worse of that very same scenario, as a 32-year-old person, I can honestly tell you, yeah, man, it's a lot better life when you just try really hard to do what you're supposed to do when you're supposed to do it and treat those around you the way that you would like to be treated. Just put yourself in that position, put the shoe on the other foot, if you will, and look at it from their perspective. If you were them, sure, you might not have ever done what you did to them, but how would you have handled it? And then you just gotta pray or meditate or think deeply or whatever verb you want to use for the same act, and that's look into yourself and find the ability to make it okay. Because ultimately, when they go to sleep, you can't do a damn thing about how well they sleep or how fast they fall asleep. Um, I can only affect that on two people in my world right now, and that's my wife and my son. If my wife is tired and restless, I feel like I can help comfort her enough to get her to go to sleep. You know, if she hears something goofy, etc. My son's scared of something. He comes to mom or dad, and we can make it okay and make him feel safe. That's the only people in my world that I can truly do that for on a consistent basis. So to set a goal to try to do that on a large scale, possibly, yeah, that may be something I want to do. Not saying like hold multiple people as they fall asleep. No, but give them a safety, a security net. Sure, that sounds nice. That sounds like a cool achievement. But ultimately, pardon, pardon again. Ultimately, I just kind of want to put some good stuff out there into the universe. Read some books to some kids that might not have the ability to hold that same book. Sorry, got the hiccups here. Um, put some activities out there that I'm doing with my son. Possibly give some other dads some ideas on what they could do with their kids, even if it's just cranking on your phone and playing tag with them. Man, that goes a long way. I grew up with a hard worker dad um, who did play catch with me and who did wrestle with me and who did play with me. But at the same time, I grew up resenting that he didn't do it enough, and I don't know why I would ever have that thought process now that he's gone. But man, oh man, I know nobody's perfect, but Lord help me if I could ever prevent that thought from seeping in my son's mind. That would really make my day because, yeah, that sucks to feel like you want to do so much, but your parents have to work so hard to achieve that they can't even play with you. You'd almost give up some of the athletics that you did just to play catch with the old man. And the reality of it is you're probably going to get more out of playing catch with your old man than you are going to a football camp or a wrestling camp, especially if your old man played those sports and was worth a nickel at them or just paid attention at all. And that goes with reading books or sewing with your mom, no matter what it is. All three, me, my brothers, both, or all three can draw half-ass decent. My brothers are far better than I. They, in fairness, have put a lot more time and effort into it, but that's because they were better from Jump Street. And my mom, my grandma, my mom's whole side of the family very artsy and crafty in that regard. And then as I start digging into who I am as a person and looking at family stuff, I find out, guess what? Mexican bloodline, baby. My dad's side can draw too. But the point is, you got to do stuff like that with your parents. And I feel like uh, maybe we get too wrapped up sometimes in money, 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 having nice things, wanting to do things. I mean, I'm horrible. It's like pot calling the kettle black right now. I'm just trying everything I could think of to earn some money to get an opti shot just so I can play golf here at my house. But at the same time, when I think about it, I'm not, oh, what's that word? I'm thinking of hypocrite because I want to play here so I can play with my wife and my son. So, and not have to leave and not have to go that time without him. But I mean, that's expensive stuff, you know. You can kind of see some stuff in the background. I got a hitting net up here. If I was to show you the floor, there's a big old putting green across the floor. Like I said, I got to the golf, man, and my son's into it. I just want to do it more with my kids. Um, so I'm gonna try to back to the point of all this rambling and bouncing around and stuff. I'm gonna use this channel and use it as like a personal growth something to reflect back on. Hopefully, gain some people, get some opinions, get some ideas, get some good stuff going. Maybe even set some stuff up to where we could do some stuff with other kids in the area, possibly, or even set it up to where we go and meet some cool stuff and just kind of spread our wings out a little bit and make a bigger community and be there for each other. For better or for worse, like we say when we get married, we should be like that with everybody, not just the person that lays in bed with us. There's no reason to wake up and try to purposely make somebody's day shitty. And you could do that on purpose or by accident. But in my world, the way I was brought up, my parents, if they had the ability to provide something for somebody that was seeking it, no matter what it is, whether it be a shirt or a meal or a dollar or a ride or whatever, I've rarely seen my parents say no. Especially, I don't know that I ever have if they had it to give. They might not have extra. They may have only that amount, but rest assured, they're gonna offer something. And it's hard to say that that's wrong. In my world, my parents have both lived very successful, fulfilled lives, and my mom's one of the greatest people I know. And like I said, I've never seen her say no to nothing, not a challenge, not an opportunity to help somebody, not really anything. She's always down to give her effort. And maybe that's what this whole shit's going to come down to, is just a big old roundabout circle way of talking about energy and effort and how do we use our effort throughout the day. Last thing I'll kind of touch on, but what kind of cemented the idea for me that I was going to start doing this was my wife and I started watching a show called Alone, and these cats get stuck on Vancouver Island with 10 items, and there's no part of the real world around them, just nature, and they have to survive for as long as they can for $500,000. And 9 out of 10 times, the thing that takes out everybody is not the bears or the cougars or any of the scary stuff or the even the weather that sucks. It's just not being with your loved ones enough. Um, it's not spending time with them, not doing things with them, not creating memories. None of this fancy shit comes with us, y'all. When we punch our last uh, clock in day for the morning, nothing in this material world comes with us other than a box. Um, but the memories that we create with our loved ones, they they last for forever, as long as they're alive and can repeat that story and tell it to other people. I've heard stories from my great grandpa so many times. It's like I was there, and I'll cherish that. I can't wait to start. I mean, I've already started in some aspects talking about some of this stuff with the boy. It's just that type of stuff to me is invaluable. Um, if you ask my closest friends, they'll understand that monetary value of things never really, excited me. Money itself never really geared me up or revved my engines. I understand we all need it, and I try to make it just because got to eat, right? Ish. I'm also going to start hunting a lot more this year. You guys will be able to see that. Got to be able to eat. We started growing some vegetables. We'll have a lot of different things that we can cover in this ground, but ultimately it's just going to be like a journey to being a better me and hopefully a better we in the end. But yeah, if anybody has any ideas or some stuff that we want to talk about, feel free to hop in. Um, if there's a child's book that you'd like to see on a YouTube video so that your kid can follow along and have some fun in that way, let me know and we'll see what I can do to get a copy of it. Man, the boy will read it. And yeah, let's have some fun with this thing and see what we can get started, right? Thanks, guys.